What's up? What's up? What's happening, people? It's a Friday. Yes, it is. It's a Friday all day. All day. All day. Let me make sure I got the right buttons pushed. Got my little note up there. got my little note up there. But what's going on, man? What's going on, people? Females. That means women. Males. That means men. What's going on? Man, I shouldn't have went outside today. I shouldn't have went outside on today at all. Shouldn't even thought about going outside today. When Jordy, my puppy, would usually go out there just long enough for me to go, "You crazy." He went out there today. I didn't even get the crazy part out, and he was back in the house. So it's like I'm not doing it because he loves the winter. That's one of the things. That's one of the things about my dog is he loves the winter. He hates the summer. I literally have to drag him out of the house during the summer because he's got all his fur. And even though we cut during the summer, we cut him really, really, really low. He doesn't even look like an Australian Shepherd. He looks like just a normal, everyday puppy dog when we cut him during the summer. But the winter, we let it grow long so he can go outside because we know he loves to go out there in the snow. Loves it. So that's why I say I got the wrong type of dog because I hate the winter. But I love the summer. My dog, he hates the summer, but he loves the winter. Anyway, what's going on, people? What is going on? I'm going to wait for a little bit, let everybody get in the house. Let everybody get in the house today because we got a little bit we want to chit-chat on about. Because I mean, there's two things that I look at. What's going on, John? How you doing tonight, man? There's two things that I've been really paying attention to and I've been really looking at that I don't think the Republican Party here in Minnesota has. I mean, literally, I always say they don't have a clue. I'm really believing the Republican Party here in Minnesota, they don't have a clue because they don't come outside their little bubble. The Republican Party has this little bubble, and that bubble is white folks. Those are facts. I'll show you the pictures. Like I said, I will never say something that I can't back up. I will never say something that I can't back up. At all. Oh, and for the knucklehead that I was fighting with, I hope they show up, who swore up and down that the lie that the White House told when they had Nakima's picture or video, and then they made her cry, and ignoramuses, idiots, stupid people on the internet thought that was real. Her husband just dropped the full video of him videotaping the ICE agents when they came to the hotel room to get her. They videotaped her. He videotaped her from the time she left that room all the way in the elevator, all the way to walk to the door to go outside, all the way outside, and all the way matter of fact, he even gave her a kiss. And nowhere in his video, live video that he took, that she was conversing with the ICE agent, did she ever cry? What the White House did was pathetic. Was flat out, no ifs, ands, buts, pathetic. I believe that White House can show y'all, could sit there and say, we're going to show the 1938 version of Birth of a Nation. And y'all would actually go to the White House to watch that film. Yeah, you would. That's how pathetic the Republican Party is. No, I am open tonight. So if you're a Republican, I wouldn't stick around. I really would not stick around. I'm warning you right now. Because what the White House did, and nobody said anything about that. So I'm giving you time to just click me off. Seriously. Because I know how this thing works. Like I said, if I always tell people, and I've always been honest with each and every one of you. If you push for a party, I'm not your guy. Because I don't push for a party. I'm not a Republican, and I'm definitely not a Democrat. And if you following me because you think that I'm going to just talk about the Democrats to appease you, because I'm about to get into some Republican tonight. No, I'm pissed because of how this country has treated black people. And y'all know what I'm talking about. And for the White House, of all places, to actually do what they first off, they darkened the video. They made her look darker. You know what they did to O.J. Simpson? They made that, when they made that Time video, that picture, and they made his picture look dark and menacing. That's what you tried to do to her. It's no different than what the media has done to black people for years. And y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. So let's not sit there and act like you don't know what I'm talking about. You know what the media has done to black people. But coming from the White House, and that's the thing. It's sad that we don't expect much from the White House. We don't. Y'all know you don't. We don't expect much coming out of that White House. I said it, and I'll say it again. We got 3 more years of hell. That's what it's going to be. If that's what you all are clapping for that type of crap, you're just as pathetic as the people who are sitting in the damn White House right now. That's their film studio. John, don't play with me tonight, bro. I told you from the get jump. I don't want to hear no apologizing for them. I don't give a goddamn. I don't care if it's the White House. Now, if you want to stick around, then your heart's gonna be broken tonight, John. But I do not put up on my screen, act like you're protecting or you're. I don't give a damn if, I don't care who it was. It's the White House. That's ignorance. So, like I said, I'm giving everybody a chance before I go in. You can click me off tonight. I'm being dead serious. They have, that's their, I know they have one, John. I know. I got what you was meaning. But the buck stops at Trump, bro. Trump had to be okay with them releasing that, bro. My main thing tonight is this here. The Trump administration was right over the target when they first decided to come here with ICE. When I've got two boys, and when we lived in St. Louis Park, my kids were going to Hopkins Elementary, and we had to drive them over there every day. And then we had to have a daycare for them. And as they rose up in school, the daycares had to change because they were in school a lot longer. So we had to find a daycare. And it took us a while to find this daycare. Find daycares for my boys for before school and after school. We didn't do it in one day. So this daycare that the Somalis had open, with the one with the sign that was misspelled, Nick Shirley goes there one day when it was closed, and it said it on the piece of paper. The day Nick Shirley went to that daycare, it was closed. But he went back, and the people said, "Oh yeah, the daycare is open, and kids are in this daycare." And then the next day, they start showing you that kids were coming into this daycare. 2 days later, this very daycare closed down completely. It's not open anymore. So those families who rushed and took their kids to that daycare, because it was open, only had a 24-hour notice to find a different daycare. Anybody ever thought about that? Have we sat down and really thought about, especially if you got kids? If you got kids, you are probably like me, going, how did those families find a daycare that quick for their kids? You don't find a daycare in 24 hours. You just don't do it. But this daycare, so they were there on a Friday, on a Tuesday. They showed up on Wednesday, and then Thursday, the daycare completely closes, shuts its doors. Not only that, but I remember one of the people who owned the daycare telling Nick Shirley that they realized the sign was wrong, but they couldn't get the person back to fix the sign. Remember that? See, one of the things that I have to do, especially as a reverend, when I get people in who come to me for marital problems, and I got a man and a woman, I've got to listen. That's what I'm really, really good at. I listen to things, and I hear it, and I go, ding, ding. So if this daycare is open, I can understand them fixing the sign. And they did. The guy came out, and the guy fixed the sign. So he fixed the sign on a Tuesday. They were so worried about this sign that they made him come out and get it fixed. It was never fixed before. But now, we got to get the sign fixed. And then they close the daycare after they fix the sign. It doesn't add up, people. And it doesn't make any sense. Think about that. No. Seriously. Think about what I just said. and make it add up to me. Because maybe it's me that's missing something here. Maybe it's me that didn't see something that you guys saw. So if you guys saw that, you're going to say, Rev, you're wrong, because it didn't matter if the sign was fixed or not. They just wanted it fixed. Didn't matter if those kids came in that day. They just want kids in there so they can, maybe that's what it was. Maybe they had thought about closing before Nick Shirley got there. No, that couldn't happen because they was still accepting money for the kids that was going in and out of those doors. Even with violations, they were still accepting money, correct? So where am I wrong here? We know what was going on. And that brings me to this here point. When Donald Trump said that he was sending in ICE and all of these people, somewhere, somehow, they moved from the target, from the real reason of actually being here. And it wasn't to rile up the Latino and the Mexican community. That wasn't what Trump came here for. In 2018, the same opportunity that Trump had now, he also had in 2018. And he dropped the ball then also. When Jason Lewis sat on that committee and he spelled it out for each and every one of us, Donald Trump was president. And Donald Trump did nothing. His administration did nothing. The same thing that he's here for right now in 2018, Donald could have been doing in his administration, could have been doing the exact same thing but they didn't do it. He has that opportunity now, and he's wasting it. Who's talking about the fraud? No, seriously. Who's talking about the fraud? 3 legislators left Minnesota, flew up to Washington, spent some time up there on the taxpayers' dime. They testified in Washington about fraud here in Minnesota. Have you heard anything about what they did or any clips? I seen one clip of Walter Hudson yelling at somebody. That's the only thing I've seen about them going up there to Washington, was Walter Hudson yelling at somebody. Doesn't shock me. It doesn't surprise me. But have you seen anything else that they went to Washington? Have you heard anything about them going? That was a wasted trip. There was no reason for them to even go to Washington. What they did to take that trip to Washington, they actually could have done it right on their computers. We could have saved that money of them going, them having a free trip to Washington to hobnob with people up there that ain't doing a damn thing for nobody. That's what it came down to be. Because what have you heard? What have you seen? If you seen something, you heard something, please send it to me. Because I ain't seen it and I ain't heard it. He said the trip was just Tom Emmer's grooming Walter Hudson to replace him. Now that, and that's a, thank you very, appreciate that. Libertarian Party of Minnesota chimed in. Thank you very much. And let me do this here, because if I don't, it's going to be on my mind. I know where I left off at. I'm going to get back to it. But if y'all think Tom Emmer is this big, I'm all against the Somalis and I'm all against, I've got an elephant-looking, Chihuahua-looking dog to sell you. Tom Emmer is a punk. He's a coward. Tom Emmer is the reason the Republican Party goes nowhere. Tom Emmer is the reason the Republican Party can't win statewide. Tom Emmer. When you look at why the Republican Party is what it is because people up there in St. Cloud are smoking, is sniffing helium. And then they vote for somebody like Tom Emmer. That's what the problem is with the Republican Party here in the state of Minnesota. Candidates like Tom Emmer, who are the worst of the worst. This man put together a caucus up there in St. Cloud for the Somali community. Yeah, he did. And then when people pointed it out on his website, guess what he did? He deleted the plaque that he got from the Somali community off of his website. He's a coward, is what Tom Emmer is. Now back to our regularly scheduled program. If I'm Donald Trump, I was the president, and I promised the American people, and I promised the people of Minnesota that I'm going to get to the bottom of this fraud. I expect Donald Trump to be a man of his word. I don't expect him to be the guy in 2018 who literally dropped the ball, who did nothing. That was what Donald Trump did. Look it up for yourself. But if I'm the president, I would get Kash Patel and I would get Pam Bondi. I would move them to Minnesota. I'm not kidding you. I would find a building and I would turn it into the headquarters. I would not leave Minnesota until I have unturned every damn dime. That means if Kash Patel and Pan if that's all they do for the next 3 years, that's it. All their office staff, anybody and whatever they need, I would put a division of the FBI, the CIA, and any and everybody else that I can get here in Minnesota. They would move here. And anybody that received one dime from the government, that's all it's going to take is a dime. And we're looking into you. And I will give them the rights, and I would have Congress write me up a piece of paper that said I got the right, if we needed to knock your damn door down, the door is coming down. And I'll go into these offices and I will confiscate every computer, every pen, every paper, every desk. And I would go through these businesses with a fine-tooth comb. Because I don't really believe people understand. They said $9 billion. I don't think they're even close. I believe it's more than that. I believe with the healthcare fraud. I believe with the autism. I believe with the traveling, with the food, with the schools. These people are buying homes and turning them into healthcare facilities. $300,000-$400,000 houses. Where are they getting this money from? Donald Trump has made a promise, and I expect him to keep it. He said that he was coming into Minnesota, and he said he was going to clean it up. He didn't say he was coming into Minnesota to wreak havoc on the Mexican community, on the Latino community, but that's what he's done. And he's kicked a bee's nest. I don't really believe that the Republican Party understands what they have done. I honestly don't. Y'all don't. If you're not on the ground, and if you didn't see the display out today, when the weather is the way the weather is, and you want to laugh that off, and you want to hold on. Let me read some of the comments. Like I said, idiots. This is seriously just being idiots, man. Some of the comments that these people were saying, especially the thing that cracks me up is, and I just found this out, but the thing that cracks me up is the Republicans had a little protest the other day, and I just found out about it at the Capitol, and there were pictures of this little protest. When I say little protest, I mean little protest at the Capitol. But it's funny how those people at the Capitol, oh no, they're not paid protesters. It's funny how those people at the Capitol, what they doing at the Capitol on a weekday, they should have a job. It's funny how that works. But yeah, I just found that out. They had a protest, a little protest. Because if you take the picture of the Republican protests at the Capitol and you put it beside the picture of them folks down there in the Target Center, outside the Target Center, going all the way down Hennepin Avenue for 3 to 4 blocks. People, there's something that's happened here in Minnesota. And I understand the Republicans have to keep pumping themselves up. I understand the Republicans have to keep making themselves believe that it's no big deal. Okay. All right. I want you to think that. But if Donald Trump doesn't get back to the plan, the Republican Party here in Minnesota are in a world of trouble. They're in a world of trouble because they paid Nick to come in here and start this. The reason this whole thing started is because Nick Shirley came in here. The Republicans, Lisa DeMoth, and the Republican Party brought that boy in here. They fed him information that only the Republicans here in Minnesota would know. And he got all of this going. And instead of Donald Trump keeping his eyes on the prize, he's running around here now just grabbing people. No. They are. They're just grabbing people. When you got a group of police chiefs who what I'm saying backs me up on what I'm saying. They stood in front of the microphone, did they not? Police chiefs. Y'all done kicked a hornet's nest. And the I do believe the top Republicans know this. But see, they cannot let their base see them sweat. They can't. But they know they messed up. He said from John. Yeah, John. From you're right. From 2008 to the current, right? Has to be way more than the $9 billion just for a start, right? He said that the administration to do this in Minnesota in the community is unbelievable and should be, ashamed of it. Yeah, like I said, go back to 2000, John, right? Go back to 2018. Think about that. Millions and millions and millions of dollars every single year until now. That's why I say, man, this is way more, John, than $9 billion. It's way more. That's just $9 billion is just a start. That's just where you start. You start at $9 billion. And then you find the other money. But Donald Trump needs to get his people in place. He needs to stop what he's doing right now. Just stop it. No, seriously, stop it. Because the only thing he's doing is he's pissing people off. He's seriously pissing people off. And he's bringing people. I'm going to tell you how I knew that all this crap had went left. So when I went down to St. Paul, where they had Nikema Levy-Pounds down there locked up. And what people don't understand, how do I put this? It's a small group with a large following, right? So the way we work, there's a small group of people, but there's a large following. And that small group of people, I know every single one of them. I've done something with every single one of the people in that group. But outside that group with that large following, there are people who, when I say hate, literally hate her. They hate her more than the right wing does. Those are facts. And I'm talking black folks. Dislike her like you would not believe. And when I walked in that building, and those folks who dislike her, hate her, talked about her like she was nothing but a dog in the pound. When I saw them standing there supporting her now, I knew right then and there. Y'all about to make this girl a superstar. If y'all thought she wasn't nothing, then you wait. Same thing with Ilhan Omar. Ilhan Omar was nothing. She was nothing but a small town CD5 person. That's all she was. Who couldn't even fill a 5 and dime store, a little store. Couldn't fill it up with people, literally. I was at her first kickoff, and I'm looking around going, this is it? This is crazy. I wish I could find video of when after she won and everything, of how many people were there when she won. I wish I could find video of that so y'all can understand what I'm trying to tell you. When she had a town hall, they have a place in Cub Foods. It's just a little bitty room. She couldn't even fill that room. When Donald Trump attacked her and she came back to the Twin Cities after he was done attacking her, they had to move her event to the auditorium at the school, to the gymnasium at the school. And every time he attacked her, she got bigger, bigger, and bigger. I went to when Bernie Sanders came here, when Bernie Sanders came here and she held a town hall in South Minneapolis, they put her in an auditorium. It was packed. And the line to get in the door, with this building already packed, literally went down a city block and around the corner. And now they can't touch her. They can't. They keep swearing up and down they're going to find a way to get rid of this woman. They can't. They can't. It's never going to happen. The things Trump says about her is for the base, and he knows that. He knows that. I hate to be the one to tell you guys this news, but I'm telling you, when he says, "Oh, we're going to get rid of her. We're going to neutralize her. We're going to look into her and say," you know how many years they've been doing that? You know how many years they've been trying to look into her? You know how many times Donald Trump has threatened to go after her, to get her out of Minnesota? Dude called her garbage and everything. But here's the deal. Just like a lot of these other Somalis that Donald Trump promised you that he was going to get rid of, he can't do it. She ain't going nowhere. And every time he attacks her, she gets bigger. Nikemi Levy Armstrong is about to be that now. Every time Dr. King went to jail, Dr. King got bigger. And y'all put this girl in jail. The Donald Trump's administration plays around with it, trying to keep her in jail. Now everybody see her as a martyr under Donald Trump. Y'all just made this girl bigger than she was, period. You got people outside of Minnesota now. Now, it was just Minnesota. You got black ACLUs in Chicago writing letters for her. You got Georgia writing letters for her. You got people in South Carolina writing letters for her. They didn't know this woman. No clue. But now, Rev, are you sick of where we're looking into? They have been looking into things. Are you sick of That's all he did. That's all they done. Because she's not going to jail. No matter what you right wings think and what you want and what you're praying for here in Minnesota. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. I know that pisses you off, but I'm just telling you. They're going to give her a misdemeanor or whatever. And then, watch this. You know that video that the White House put out? The one they lied about? She's going to sue them. Oh, yeah. And she's going to get paid for them being ignorant, stupid, foolish. And that's just going to make her bigger. Watch. I'm putting it out there early so I can come back and go, told you. Told you. So I'm just putting it out there to Donald Trump. If I'm president and I've made this mess, and he has made a mess, because only people who is enjoying this is the little small base. Remember, Donald Trump lost Minnesota 3 times. So the little small base, and even, watch this here. Even some people in the base are at a point now where they're going, enough's enough. Even some people in the base is going, enough's enough. And people outside of Minnesota thinks that here in Minnesota, Trump has this large base. He don't. But the base he do got ain't got no damn sense. That's the problem. Want to know why they keep losing? No, you want to know why they keep losing? I can tell you. So, if you saw the video of downtown Minneapolis, see all those people that was out there? All those people are pretty much, I guarantee you, right around the surrounding areas. They had the same thing happen in Duluth, packed. They had the same thing happen in Rochester, packed. But here's the thing about what you're looking at, what you're seeing, what's happening right now. All those are just white people. Yeah. There's no black people out there. There's no Hmong people out there. There's no Vietnamese people out there. There's no Mexican, no Latinos. None. Those are just white people. Now, if you take the coalition that the Democrats have with the people that I just told you, and you put them out there, there'll be so many people out there, it would literally probably cover Minneapolis, correct? If the people came down from Duluth and they came down from Rochester and they came up from Wilmer and some of the people that came down from Bemidji and all of that there type of stuff. Because what I'm learning and what I've been told also, there's a lot of libertarians that's sitting there going, we may not vote Republican. And you know who the Republicans got? White folks. That's it. They got a couple Hmongs. Somalian vote is gone. They're not voting for Trump. They've already said that. The Latino vote, you can call that gone too. The small base is northern Minnesota for Trump and the outskirts of the city. No, you know what? This year I'm going to call it right now. There's places that I don't think that Trump's going to. I mean, that the Republicans are going to win. That they were usually, because everybody was bragging because of what Royce White did. Think about all of those Republicans that came out to vote for Trump and Royce White. That's not going to happen. That's just not, and they still lost. That's the thing about it. Just a record. That's what it was. It was a record number of Republicans that came out to vote for Donald Trump and Royce White, and they still lost. They still lost. They still lost. All right, there's a record. They haven't had that many Republicans vote in this state. Go look at the map. That whole map is red. All of it. It's red. You look at the map and go, holy smoke, the Republicans blew this place to smithereens. But then you got to look at where all the votes come from and understand why the Republicans can't win. All the Republican votes, them white folks. And there ain't enough white folks in Minnesota for the Republicans to win with. There isn't. Even though Republicans think so. Republicans think that they can galvanize their base enough to be able to outvote white suburban people, black folks, Latinos, Somalis, Hmongs, Vietnamese, and Asian people. They're going to try to outvote all them people with just white people. That's a fact. That's what they think. That's all they have. That's it. They don't have no one else. Republicans don't have no one else. They win their little districts because it's all white. That's why they win their district. Look it up for that. That's all you got to do is look it up for yourself, man. You don't have to take my word for it at all. Look it up for yourself. Go on Lisa Dumas' page. Go on Scott. Go on Scott's page and look at the pictures. That's all you gotta do is look at the pictures, man. Look at the pictures and see who's in the rooms. That they all these debates that they have, all these cities that they go to. Look at the pictures and see who's in the room. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. They're white and they're old. They're not replacing anybody, and they're not trying to. They're not trying to add to the party at all. They think, here in Minnesota, they think that they want to keep the Republican Party as white as they possibly can, and that's what's going to get them over the hump. But every single statewide election, they get blown out. That's a fact. Look it up. Look up Amy Klobuchar's numbers. I mean, Amy beats people she was beating Republicans by 30 points. 30 points. I know people talk crazy about her all the time, but she's a rock star in Hennepin County. And here's another thing that y'all are not understanding. Let's get a great independent. John, I'm gonna have one. John, I'm gonna have one on the show. When I do, I want you to come on with me. But I got this guy that I am kind of happy about. I'm gonna have him on the show, John, and when I do, I want you to come on. I want you to come on with me, an independent. I just think Donald Trump needs to get back to what he promised America he was going to do, what he promised Minnesotans he was going to do. He told us he was going to clean up this fraud. He told us he was going to make a difference in Minnesota. And he's gotten away from the main target. And by him getting away from the main target, he has opened up a can of whoop ass. He has kicked a hornet's nest that the Republican Party here knows. And that's the thing about it. Because there's so many Republicans running for governor, the base isn't even galvanized. They're not even galvanized. Kendall Qualls win in this area, so he runs around. So he's got a week or two to run around the state bragging. Look at me. I won the straw poll. I'm the number one straw poll candidate. Kendall Qualls. Then Lisa wins the week after that. Look at me. I'm the candidate. No one can beat me. I'm better than all these other people, and let's go. No, but the base isn't even galvanized together. The base isn't even actually energized for what they got. So they roll out to try to get everybody all boosted up and all this here. Michelle Tafoya. They roll her out. I have not had the opportunity to go on Royce White's page yet. Because, boy, I'm sure Royce ain't happy right now. I'm sure Royce White is not happy. And when Royce White is not happy, Republicans, y'all are in for it. I ain't been on Royce's page, but I'm going to go over there. I'm going to go over there and check it out. See what he got to say. But the Republicans, they're not galvanized. They're not. You don't see that enthusiasm when they have someone coming in. I mean, Lisa right now is all they got. And even here's another thing. Even when they rolled out Mike Lindell, and here we all was talking about that. Here we all thought that as soon as they rolled out Mike Lindell, there was going to be a parade. There was going to be a party. Nothing. Crickets. And then he takes third place behind Kendall, Lisa, and then Mike Lindell. I don't think he's been in the top. I don't think he's been in the top 2 or the top 1. I think he's always either been in 3rd or 4th place when they have these little straw polls at these little towns. My thing is, again, Donald Trump just needs to stop what he's doing. He needs to just say, I want to stop. I need to somebody in that White House needs to be smart enough to tell this man to go on TV and say, I want to do a reset. And I want to focus on what I promised the taxpayers of Minnesota. And I want, if he's going to send an army here, I want an army of tax collectors. I want the smartest of the smart people here in Minnesota who can look at a piece of paper and realize somebody stole something. Find a building there in Bloomington. Work out of Bloomington. But we need an army of people who you promised, you said that you were going to do something about this fraud. Send that army. The ICE, get out of here. Because you're not really doing what you came here to do. There was a dude in Zimmerman that just literally kidnapped a little girl. That's the type of thief. That's the type of criminal I want out of here. Kidnap a 7-year-old girl, white man. ICE, go get him. Go get him. I don't care. You said you was going to deneutralize this dude. Find out where no, that's easy to do. Because he can trace his ancestors. He can tell you where he's from and then send him there. Why can't we do that? No, why can't we do that? There's another Republican that tried to have sex with a young girl, a lawmaker, even though they booted him out. Find out where he's from. Send him back. Why can't we do that? Those are the type people that I want ICE dealing with. But when I see this card, and I've seen it with my own eyes, when I see this card that these people have been given to work here in these states, that tells me they have been vetted. That tells me that somebody knows that they are actually here, because that card tells them that they can work. Then when I see them with a Social Security number, knowing that they're taking money out of their checks and it's going to the tax man here in Minnesota, that tells me they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. When their kids are going to school and both parents are working, trying to make a better life for themselves. That's not who you say you was coming to get. You never said that, Donald Trump. But that's who is afraid to walk out of the house now. To the point to where we got to deliver groceries to these people. Putting together funds to help them pay for their rent. That's not what you said you was coming here for. If I had the choice, if you gave me the choice and say, okay, Rev, we're gonna pull off of this here, but we're gonna do this here. I want the fraudsters found. All of them. When you're done with the Somalis, you know what I want you to do? I want you to come into the black community. And every damn black church that's in the community that's receiving one iota of a dime from this damn government, I want you to go through their books like a fine-tooth comb. Every black nonprofit in the state of Minnesota, I want you to go through their books like a fine-tooth comb. And then you need to make me understand how somebody can boycott Target and at the same time getting paid by Walmart. Y'all didn't know that, did you? See, that's what I'm telling you. There's a lot of things. I need you to find out, Trump, how somebody can boycott Target, but picking up a check from Walmart. That's what I need you to do. I don't need you scaring people who's making my Chinese food, making my egg rolls. I don't need them scared, because you know what they're doing? They're going to work. They're putting back into the community. You know what I don't need you scaring? Anybody that's making my burritos. I don't need them scared. I need to be able to pull up and get me a shredded beef burrito the way I like it. And you messing that up right now, Trump. You know what I don't need you doing, Trump? All them hardworking dudes that will work in 20-degree weather, going up and down scaffolding, who has that worker card, who has a Social Security number. I don't need you messing with them, Trump. I'm going to tell you what I need you to do, Donald Trump. I want to know what my $9 billion is. plus. I want to know every damn daycare. I want to know how many kids are there. Matter of fact, I want to know what day those kids go there. I want to know the hours that they're at that daycare. Matter of fact, I want to know how many Pampers they use at that daycare. Then I want you to go to the health care. I want you to know how many patients that they see. I want to know. I want to know how sick these patients are. I want to know how many hours in a day they get the care, these patients get the care that these people saying they're doing. And then once you're done with that, Donald Trump, I need you to go to the transportation. I need to know how many cars they got, where they bought these cars. I need to know how many miles they drive a day. Matter of fact, I don't want to know a day. I want to know the hour, because they'll find a way to cheat. Yes, they will. But I want to know that. I want to know, then I want you to go to the Uber situation that they basically run. I want to know who's running it, who's in charge of it, all of it. And then once you're done with that, Donald Trump, I need you to go to these healthcare homes that they went and bought. Donald Trump, I need to know who gave them the money to buy these homes. I need to know how many patients are in these homes. I need to know how many people are working in these homes. And then once you're done with that, Donald Trump, I need you to go to this autism thing. I need to know how many kids really have autism. I need you to bring in a team of doctors right here to the state of Minnesota. And every one of them kids that they say is autistic, I want a doctor to check them out. Every single one of them. I need to know all of these kids that's supposed to be autistic. How much is the parents getting paid? And if these kids are being dropped off in an autistic like daycare, I want to see that. Donald Trump, that's what I need you to do. And if your ass can't do that, then get the ice out of Minnesota and go on about your business. Because right now, you ain't doing nothing but putting an election in the Democrats' hand. You are handing them an election like no other. See, the Republicans ain't going to tell you this because they got to act like they got to be strong for their base. But they know that they screwed up. They know they screwed up by bringing Nick in this place. They know it now. They know. Because y'all have kicked a hornet's nest. Like you don't even, y'all don't have a clue what you have done here in this state. And I'm going to go out on a limb right now and say no Republican will win statewide in this state if Donald Trump don't stop what he's doing and do what he said he was going to do. Y'all had a better chance if y'all hadn't run off at the mouth and made Tim Walz leave. You had a better chance with Tim. That's why I was sitting there going, I can't believe y'all did this. I cannot believe y'all pushed this man out the door when you could have used that and ran. Do you know how much gold you gave away when you pushed this man out the door? This is what I'm telling y'all. I'm trying to make y'all understand. The Republican Party here, they're ignorant. I'm not kidding you. When Tim Walz let the city burn, no, he did. He let the city burn. Do you think the Republican Party hammered him on that? Do you think that they just, pushed it to the point that everybody heard? No. No. And now they let him walk out the door. And who's up to bat? Someone who has clobbered. Go look at the numbers. Somebody who has clobbered the Republican Party like no other. Like no other. That's who they want to run against. And watch this here. And if they nominate Lisa and Ryan Wilson, so now you got a black woman who has been passing for years for white, that the Republican Party, who have no affiliation with the black community, no affiliation with the brown community, no affiliation with people of color, they've got to try to sell. Hold on. Listen. No. I know. Some of y'all are not going to get this, but the people who's going to get what I'm about to say, they've got to sell a black woman to a minority community. That's a fact. That's a fact. And don't sit there and give me, oh, well, Rev, it's not about color. Really? No. I want somebody to, please, somebody just type that on my Get Up so I can go, really? Just type it. Just type it for me. Because I'm going to show you something. You say it's not about color? Really? Half the black people in Minnesota had no clue she was black. You know how we found out she was black? And everybody was like, what? Now we found out Lisa was black? When the Republican Party used her blackness to say she was the first black speaker, Republican speaker. They used her blackness. Nobody was talking about her because we didn't know. I always thought she was just a white chick. Well, I mean, a white chick with European features. I'm serious. Every time I saw her, I was like, white chick, European features. And next thing I know, they roll her out. The Republicans roll her out as black. And everybody's like, yeah, Lisa's black. You didn't know that? Hell no. Nobody knew she was black. Why? She don't come in the black community. She don't deal with the black community. She don't talk black. She don't act black. No, those are facts. So now, hold on. So now if she's going to be their nominee, they've got the Republicans who have... The Republicans can't even talk to black people. They can't even deal with black people. They got to try to sell this woman that the black people didn't even know was black to the black community. That's your Republican Party here in Minnesota. They put her out there. The Republicans did. Oh, this is who we're going to have run for governor. So they waited for a couple of days so see what everybody was getting all hyped about her or what the noise was going to be. And right away, boom, they had to put the white man behind her. Right? They had to put that happened right here. They had to put Ryan Wilson behind her. Cuz you know what the base would have been like, you got to give us something else. And they did. That's why that's why they introduced Ryan Wilson so quick. That's why they introduced Ryan Wilson so quick. Those are facts. I don't care what else the Republican Party tell you. They lying. They telling you a lie. Ryan Wilson was introduced because Lisa Dumas could not carry the party. That's why. And that's what the Republican Party is going to try to come into Hennepin County. It's going to come into Duluth, into Rochester, and try to sell us. That's what you get. That's what the Republicans get. But I know how to make this all go away. I know how to make everything okay. If Donald Trump decides to bring in some power that's going to be able to subpoena people, put people in front of you that has to answer questions. That's the only way we're going to get through this thing. He has to have people in place that knows what's going on, that knows how to get to these people, that knows how to ask the right questions to get the right answer, to know which way to go. They've got to sit out and strategize how they're going to make this thing burst open. Because I'm telling you, it's more than $9 million. It is. It is. I guarantee you, probably 2 billion is probably sitting over in a foreign country. See, we need somebody that can trace that. How did that money? The big story of the lady that tried to get out of here with $800,000 at the airport. They caught her at the airport. They're still doing it. If Donald Trump don't do what's right, if Donald Trump don't stop what he's doing, when you got clergy, hold on, let me explain that to you too. When you got clergy at the airport getting arrested, shutting down the airport because of ICE, when you got clergy doing it, getting together here in this state, and they closed down the airport. That should tell you something. And if y'all don't understand that, then you need to get out of politics. You need to get out of politics, leave it alone, and you shouldn't even vote. But clergy closed down the airport today. And they arrested him. All because of what Donald Trump is doing. And I guarantee you, by the middle of next week, black folks, you're going to start hearing a lot of black folks going to start speaking out. A lot of black folks are going to be out there on the picket, in those protests. And if you start getting the blacks, the Hmongs, the Asians, the Latinos, you start getting all of them out there, it's over for the Republican Party here in Minnesota. Because that white vote is just not enough. So I'm going to say it again. Y'all want to retweet this to Donald Trump? Please do. But Donald Trump can save this whole thing. Leave the Mexican people alone and go after the people you said you was going to go after. And if you don't do that, the Republican Party here is in trouble. And they know it. They know it. Doesn't matter how tough they talk and what they say. They know that they're in a good position right now. Because you know why? Because they're not even talking about their opponents. They're not. The Republicans talk more about their opponents than the Democrats. Democrats barely even say their name. But you know who they do say? Donald Trump. Donald Trump this, Donald Trump that, Donald Trump this, Donald Trump that. So if the Republicans want to make a difference here, I would suggest Lisa pull out her pen, write a long letter to Donald Trump, and just tell him, okay, you scared the Hmongs when you walked in that old man's house and pulled him out of there. So the Hmong community is afraid. You done scared the Vietnamese when you went up to Elk River and you went through that restaurant up in Elk River and you pulled all of them people out. All right? Scared the Mexicans. You scared every person of color here in Minnesota. Black folks ain't scared. We were just sitting there. We were just sitting back going, whatever. Everybody. So I need Lisa Dumas to write a letter and tell Trump to come in here and do what he said he was going to do. Somebody in that Republican Party should be smarter than Tom Emmer. Somebody. Because Tom Emmer is right there next to him. Tom Emmer is in his ear. I would expect, but Tom Emmer, he's a coward. Tom Emmer is an idiot. So somebody else in your party needs to be smart enough in that Republican Party to say, Trump, I know you're not here, but we're here. And the things that we're seeing on the ground, it's not looking good for us. So what we need you to do is to come in here and get this fraud taken care of. It's not too late. He can save this thing. But if we roll around into February and ICE is still running around here doing what they're doing, I'm going to say it right now. There ain't going to be a Republican that can win in this state, statewide. There you have it, people. I'm done. I appreciate y'all. I hope I ain't pissing a lot of people off, but I just don't see it any other way. I just don't see it any other way. I don't. Donald Trump said he was going to do something. Donald Trump has not done what he said he was going to do. Donald Trump came here and he's wreaking havoc on a group of people, and they can sit here and say, "Oh, we've gotten 2,000, 3,000 people out of here." Prove it. Until I see it, you show me pictures. I don't believe that. Y'all have been grabbing people. You've been grabbing people, taking them down to Bloomington, or taking them to Fort Snelling, or taking them to Brooklyn Park, and just releasing them, and they got to find their way home. And then you count that as a capture. Yeah, you do. Yeah, that's exactly what you guys been doing. So your numbers, I know for a fact, are inflated. They're lying. You're lying. So I need you to cut that out, Donald Trump. And I need you to go after the people that you promised us that you would go after. I need you to get the money back that you promised us that you would go after. That's it. So if you can do that, we'll appreciate you. And if you can do that, even though the Republican Party, they're too coward to ask you and they're too coward to say this, we'll appreciate that. We definitely would appreciate you if you can do what you told us you're going to do. Anyway, fam, I appreciate y'all. Always remember that we have a God that no matter what man does, no matter what man says, God will never turn his back on us, nor will he let us down. And I know you're sitting there going, well, I've prayed, Rev, and the same thing keeps happening. I told you guys why. I made myself clear. If you don't understand what I mean, I need you to read 1 Samuel 8. And then when you get to 1 Samuel 18, take a break for a second, and then read 1 Samuel 8:18. And that's going to answer that question. But I still believe he can hear us. And then once we do the things that he asks us to do as people, I believe he's going to make a difference. That's just what I believe. He made us a promise when he said, I will never leave you and I will never forsake you. Though That's a promise that God made to each and every one of us. But he also said, when you're acting a fool, I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do for you. If he's going to turn his head on his only begotten son, when his only begotten son is on the cross being a sinner, don't you think he'll turn his head when we sinning? And until we decide that we're going to come together as a people and realize that we're better as a people, not as black people, not as white people, not as Mexican people, not as brown people, not as yellow, orange, green people, there's nowhere. You know what? As many times I've read the Bible, and every time, and sometimes when I read the Bible so I can see in there and look and see where it says that we as a people should not come together for the better and the good of this nation. Not only for the better and the good of this nation, but for our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I always look to see, well, maybe that's not in there. Maybe that's why we can't come together. That's why we can't be a strong, united people. Maybe he needed to write it in there. I'm going to pray for that. Can you put up another tablet? And on that tablet, can you make it says, no matter color or creed, you are to become one together. See if he put that on there. But we do serve a God that no matter what you do, how you do it, God will make sure that he has grace and a mercy. And we all got to sit back and just thank him for that compassion. Because if it wasn't for his grace and his mercy, and especially that compassion for each and every one of us, some of us wouldn't even be here. He wouldn't give a care what we did, how we do it, and when we do it. He'll let us take ourselves out and be done with us. But because he's so good, he's so marvelous, he's so wonderful, God will never do that. And because of that, we all should have a smile on our face. And you know what we do with our smiles. We go off and we smile at somebody, so somebody will smile back at you. Y'all have a good night. We will see you. Hey, tomorrow morning, because we're going to be doing, and y'all want to tune in. If you're up that early, Don does his show at like 9:30, man. I was like, dude, 10 o'clock. Come on, Don. But Don does his show at 9:30. If you're not doing anything, it will be on Twitter. And I will put it on my page too. But I think you will get a good kick out of us on tomorrow. And that's the Black News with Don Allen. Tomorrow morning at 9:30 our time here. Okay, so if you're not doing anything, please, ma'am and sir, if you're up and you got your cup of coffee, please come and hang out with us. Okay, hang out with us tomorrow at 9:30. And that's with the Don Allen Show, Black News. Peace, fam. I'm out.